everybody, it's Jen here in my kitchen. Today we're making tagine. So this is basically a stew that comes from North Africa. So what makes tagine a tagine and not a stew is that basically they cook it in a pot that's called a tagine. So if you've ever seen one, it's a large, shallow dish that has a well-fitted conical lid that sits on top. So they put it into an oven and all the moisture kind of stays inside the dish, and it cooks very low and slow. So you can do this on the stove top, or you can do this in your slow cooker, or we're gonna do this one in the oven, but I'll let you decide. You just wanna have a pot that has a good fitting lid that you can put into the oven, or just do it on the stove top in a regular pot. So I've got my pot heating up. I'm gonna add some olive oil, and we're gonna cook and caramelize our onions first. So I have a bunch of vegetables already chopped up and ready to go. You can do that while your onion's cooking, but I'm just doing it to save myself chopping time on the video. So this is just one cooking onion. We're going to caramelize it, and then after that we'll throw in our spices. So for spices, this is sort of what else makes a tagine is it's a combination of sweet and savory things. So spices are a combination. What we're using is cumin, coriander, cinnamon sticks. I think cinnamon is key to get that sweet flavor. And then I've got Canadian saffron. Usually you would use regular saffron. This is nothing like the expensive saffron, but it's really just to have a little bit of that color in there. And I've got turmeric as well for more color. The other sweet component that we're going to put into this tagine is dried fruit. So I have currants just because that's what was in my cupboard, but you can use raisins or dates or dried apricots, any kind of dried fruit that you might find. And then aromatics are garlic and ginger and the onion. So our onion's starting to brown. And I'm going to add in my ginger and garlic and let that cook for another minute with the spices. Just until you start to really smell those spices and the ginger and garlic, and then we can add in our vegetables. So I have one sweet potato, a yellow pepper, a zucchini, a head of cauliflower, oh, and some celery. You can really use any kind of vegetable you want in this. Typically, you would find things like chicken or lamb or something like that, but this one's going to be vegetarian, and we're doing chickpeas. So we don't really need to cook these vegetables in here. I just kind of wanted to get them coated in the spices, and you can see my pan's drying out on the bottom a bit. So I'm going to add in my currants, chickpeas, and a can of tomatoes. Give it a good stir. And then we can turn off the heat and then put this into a preheated oven. I've got my oven at 350 degrees, and this will cook for you can cook it for as little as an hour, but to really get those flavors nicely stewed together and everything cooked really well, I would go for an hour and a half or even 2 hours. In your crock pot, you can leave it on all day. And if you do have a pot that doesn't have a good fitting lid. One of the tips that I read was that you can cover your lid in tin foil and then fit it on top. So this one's pretty good, and I'm popping this whole thing in the oven, and I'll be back in 2 hours. Okay, Charlie, our tagine is in the oven, so it's our stew that we're having for dinner, but we're going to serve it on a bed of couscous. Yeah, we've got some butter. So couscous is more of like a pasta. It's like a small, it looks like a grain, but it's actually just wheat pasta. So you could do this, or you could use rice or couscous. So, but it's a really quick and easy starch to make. So what we're going to do is bring up our water to a boil. So it's 1 3/4 cups of water. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we add 1 1/2 cups of couscous to it, and you basically just steam it. So you put the lid on, and then you turn off the heat, and in 5 minutes your couscous is done. So, oh yeah, we have to add our butter to the water. So 2 tablespoons of butter, and I did about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to also make another topping just for fun. We're going to toast up some almonds in some butter. So do you want to put that butter, big chunk of butter, can go right into the pan. Drop it in. There you go. This one too. Okay, and then we're going to toast up some almonds.
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. We're going to do all of them. Mm-hmm. Just don't touch the pan. Do you want some help?
I'll do this one.
Okay.
You do this one.
I'm going to try and do all of them at once.
I'll do one. Do two.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay. Yep. And we'll do a little pinch of salt.
And here, this.
And the yogurt, we're gonna put that on top as well. We're gonna go lots of toppings, lots of options.
And this.
Yep, and that's cilantro and parsley. So that's for after our tagine comes out of the oven. So just keep stirring your almonds, and you don't want to burn them, so keep watching them. You just want them to get nice and toasty, golden brown.
And then we that scoop of yogurt and then salt. This is not salt.
What is it?
I don't know.
Parsley and cilantro.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is.
That's the rest of the couscous that we don't need. Okay, so
This is yogurt.
our water has come up to a boil. Oh, you know what I need to do is find a good lid.
Okay.
Okay, and once your water is boiling, add your couscous.
I can't reach that one.
Okay, stir that in, and I'm gonna put the lid on and turn off the heat. And so our butter is foaming up and browning at the same time, which would be a really nice, tasty addition to our tagine, right? I'm getting excited for dinner. How about you?
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Me too.
And probably no. The party.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that you don't want to let your butter burn. So once it's foamed up that first time, and then it subsides, and then it starts to foam up again like it is right now. You really have to watch this part. When you're stirring, you'll see the brown bits are starting to form on the bottom. Don't go any further than that, because once your butter burns, which is the next stage, it's going to taste really bitter. So I'm turning it off at this point. My almonds aren't golden, but they are a little bit toasty, and if you wanted to continue it going, you could add a little bit of olive oil at this point, and then that would stop it from browning for a little bit, but it's not totally necessary. And actually, that looks pretty good. Does that look good to you, Charlie? Okay, I'm going to move this and bring out our tagine from the oven. It's been in there for 2 hours now. I'm opening up the oven, okay? So be very careful. This is our dinner. It's the biggest pot ever.
Okay.
You ready? You ready for the reveal? This is super hot, so don't touch, okay? But you can definitely see and smell. What do you smell? Does it smell cinnamony? Smell cinnamon? Does that smell good? Yeah, that looks really good. Looks so lovely. Okay, so now to plate. Hold on, Charlie. It's your turn now. It's your turn. So we're gonna do a scoop of couscous, and then a nice big scoop of our tagine. Yummy. Maybe 2. Okay, and then, sure, you can put on your parsley and cilantro. Put it right in the top, and you could put your scoop of a nice big scoop and drizzle of that brown butter and the olive oil, or the almonds, toasted almonds. Okay, now, and then this is optional too. These are all optional toppings.
This one?
But let's do a scoop of yogurt in the top. Ooh, a nice little drizzle. Very nice. Do you want more yogurt than that? Maybe for yours? Nice. Yeah. Does that look like a good dinner? Hey, Gracie and Charlie? Does that look nice? There you have it. Vegetarian tagine.
Maybe more.
Hope you enjoy this. Bye.